All right, so in this video, we need to talk about time intelligence in DAX. You may have wondered how to get the total sales up to a certain period in a year. In that case, you have to use time intelligence functions in DAX. We're going to see examples of these functions. And we're going to start with the most and the commonly used function, that is YTD, year to date sales. So we are creating a measure. So to create this measure, I want us to click on the internet sales table and then create a new measure. And the name of the measure, I want us to call it YTD, year to date sales. We want to get the total sales up to a certain date in a year. So because what we want to get is year to date sales, we need to have the name of this measure, year to date sales. So I'm just going to call it year to date sales. That is the name of our measure. And to get the year to date sales, we're going to use a function called total year to date sales. If you look at this function, these functions, it is containing around two very important arguments. The first argument is the expression. The expression in this case, because we want to get the total sales, our expression is going to be total sales measure, comma. The second function is the date. And because we want to get the total sales is per the date of order, we're going to have the date function. We're going to have the date from the date order table. So if I press enter, I'll be able to get the year-to-date sales. And with this, we have a default way. We are assuming that the year is going to end on 31st December. We'll also be able to look at other scenarios if the year is ending on a different date, and how to calculate the year-to-date sales if you have a physical year that is not ending on 31st December. So for now, let us just have these two arguments. The first one being our expression, which is the total sales, and the second one being our date, which is from the date order function. So when we press OK, we'll have YTD sales, year-to-date sales as a measure under the internet sales table. So if you search here, YTD, year-to-date sales, year-to-date, you can see we have year-to-date sales as the measure on the internet sales. Now I want us to click on the internet sales and click on a new measure. This time around, we want to get our physical year-to-date sales. When I'm saying about a physical here, I mean that you may need to get the year-to-date sales when your year is not ending on 31st December. So in this case, you have to specify the date and the month when your year is ending. So we are creating a new measure that we're going to call physical year-to-date sales. You're going to have the same arguments. One, the expression, which is the total sales. Two, it is the date that we've gotten from the date order table. And then we are going to provide a third argument, which is when our year is ending. So we have physical year-to-date sales. This is the measure, right? And then we're using the same function, our total year-to-date sales. Let's have the first expression, which is our total sales, because that is what we want, total sales. And the second argument is going to be date we need to have the date order table, and we from the date order table we get the date. Then comma. With that argument here, we're told about the year end date. We're not going to have the filter in this case, but you can include the filter, but we don't want to have a filter. In this case, we want to have the year end date. And for the year end date, we're going to have this in quotes. Like in this case, we want to have our year ending on March 31st. So when our year is ending on March 31st, you can change this depending on when you want your year to end or when your year is ending. I'm going to press OK. And then we're going to have our sales when our year is ending on March 31st. We'll be able to create a small table just to see if the two measures have the same figures or they are actually different. So let us try to make the physical year-to-date sales to be in form of currency. So go to the format, try to click on that little drop down there, and then have it in form of currency. The currency, in this case, is going to be a $sign. So try to click on the $sign. Yeah, so currency is in form of a $sign. That is okay. If you don't want your currency or you have different currency, then you can toggle this. Try to have the little drop down there, and you'll be able to pick the currency of your choice. So I want us now to move to the report, to the report view. I'm trying to create a table whereby we're going to have the year and together with the YTD sales and the physical YTD sales. We want to see if they are actually different or they are just the same thing. So I've moved to the report canvas. Let me go back to the report. I want to create another table. I can try to remove this table and create another table. That is going to be okay. So we want to create a table. So the first thing is try to get the table from the visualizations area. So this is a table. Click on the table. Try to use the endpoints for this table to resize the table. I'll try to resize this table to the size that I want. Then the next thing is try to have the columns for our table. So our table is going to have the following column areas. The first column area that I want to have is the year. So the year is gotten from the date order or the time when the item was ordered. So I have the year and the date order. I will also have the English month name is a column. So I'm going to have English month name. All this is coming from the date order, English month name, check. I can put this on the previous month so that it is very visible. So we have the year, English month name. Next, I want us to have the total sales as a column, or total sales. Remember, total sales is a measure. So I want to check that total sales. So total sales is going to be included on the table report that you're trying to create. And then we also want to have YTD sales together with the physical YTD sales. So YTD together with the physical YTD. So here finally we have our table, which is containing the year, English month name, the total sales, the physical YTD sales, and YTD sales. You can be able to compare the physical YTD sales to the YTD sales. Then you'll be able to get the difference. The difference will be depending on when your year is ending, because we said for the year-to-date sales, the year is ending on 31st December. For the physical YTD, we had a scenario where our year was ending on March 31st. So you'll be able to get all that kind of a difference there.